Um, it's raining. I am under. I'm under this. Uh, I'm under something. I'm school. I never liked the school. Um, I don't even know if I like the people who like the school. I remember the first day of school. See, my mom already had two kids, right? So I'm not necessarily sure if my response to being dropped off at school was concerning or traumatizing to her or not. But I didn't even know we were going. But we don't really be going places like that. So I figured we was going to the doctor. Uh, I didn't like the doctor either. In the same way I was at school, I was pretty much at the doctor. I remember going to the doctor for the first time by myself like 2 years ago. I ain't been back since. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, a lot of these places, these situations, their design, their purpose, their intended use had nothing to do with people who look like me. And I mean, like, it's just that. I don't know what else to say about it, but so school, I remember uh, I don't really understand how she knew what was going on and stuff. But a lot of times I'll be like, like deleting stuff. Like I don't remember it no more. But we walk into the classroom, see a bunch of kids. Then I see a lady come up, and she's the teacher. I don't know who this lady is though. She come up, she try to talk. I just grabbed my mama leg and like kind of hid behind her and was holding on real tight. And then a lady, was like, I don't even know what she was talking about, but she was talking to her mom. And she kept trying to talk to me, but I'm almost 100% sure I wasn't registering whatever she was saying. So I was just looking like this blank stare, like, um, I remember seeing the kids, they was all looking at me. Like they were on the carpet. So I'm assuming this was the beginning of the day and I was just late. But they were all on the carpet. Um, it's about everybody. They was just facing the door looking at what was going on. And then I think my mama tried to push me off her leg first. And I was terrified. Like, yeah, I was terrified. I think I was like damn near like fighting my mama a little bit. And that says a lot because I was terrified of my mama. So if I'm not terrified of the terrified, the other thing is more terrifying. If that makes sense. The teacher, I think she tried to grab me. Yeah, I just remember crying. It was a loud cry too. Uh, I don't know where she was going. Like my mom, I don't know where she was going and where I was, or if she was coming back. So I was just crying, terrified. The part I don't remember is how my mama got out the door. Because I for sure was on her tight. Like, so I don't know who got me off or like what happened, what calmed the situation down to where she was able to escape the room. Um, I remember being at a desk and it was like some paper, and the lady was saying something like, "What's your name? How do you write your name? How do you spell your name?" Oh, fuck, I don't know. I don't know none of this shit, cousin. Uh, um, but I remember being at the table, and now I do remember hearing the door close again. I remember being at the table, so I assumed that the lady was somehow able to lure me in to the table. Maybe my mom followed me and I sat down. And the teacher was distracting me a little bit. I don't really know, but all I know is the door closed and I saw my mom was there. I cried a lot again. Uh, and I was I'm not sure what I was supposed to be writing. But I think the lady wrote my name down, and I was like supposed to be tracing it or something. I don't know. I just remember. Eventually getting on the carpet with all the other kids, and that's when I knew I wasn't friendly. All the other kids, they was like, "Oh, new kid, like, what's your name?" and all that shit. And I was like, "Brother, please get away from me." Like, especially the girls, like, I didn't even. I had no. I don't know. Like, the girls, they was like, I don't know. The girls usually sit and talk with the girls, so them trying to talk to me didn't make sense. I didn't know it didn't make sense. Everybody else knew it didn't make sense. All the other dudes, they was like looking at like, huh? Like she talking to you? And then, yeah, they always just talking to me, asking me questions. I was just sitting there like, every once in a while, I nod my head. That's all they was getting basically. He was getting one of these. Like, I don't know what y'all talking about. You gonna get this hard ass nod though. Uh, it was recess, and I remember going on the yard, and I heard a voice that was familiar. Saw a kid running. I'm like, that dude looked familiar. It was my cousin. So my cousin, he got a YouTube channel. His name Keep Honest. If he hadn't have been at that school with me, I don't know what would have happened. He basically calmed all the nerves but we wasn't in the same class, so I mean, it did no justice. I don't think we went on on the playground at the same time. Uh, I don't think, like, even if we did, it was like a split second that we was on the playground like the same time before he went back in. Uh, but for a long period of time, that was like the only person I knew at that school. Uh, all the other kids, I didn't really know them. But I was like, I always learn from kids, like what they was doing. Like I could always pick that up. Not necessarily ever knowing why something was done, but I could see when something was being done. I remember this one kid, his grandma, I think his grandma was taking care of him. I only say that because the teacher snitched on him. The teacher was like, "Oh yeah, he hit me," and then he didn't have recess. I don't know what I did to get in trouble. But I didn't have recess either. Like I couldn't go to recess either. I didn't want to go to recess. I wanted to be by myself. I didn't want to go in the yard. I didn't want to be around the other kids. But I remember seeing that dude cry and be like mad, hitting the chair, hitting the table, and I was like, dang. Part of me was like, I wish I could do that, but I knew better. Like I knew, yeah, I do that when I get home. Somebody gonna do that on me. You hear what I'm talking about? So I was like, yeah, I wish I could do that, but that guy's bold. Like the way he was moving, I was like, so you know you gonna get a whooping because you clearly just got one. Grandma came up there, was talking to him. She snatched him up outside. He came back in, and it seemed like he was about to be on his best behavior. She left. It was time to play, and she was like, "Oh no, you got detention. Like you don't get to go outside." And he started flipping out. She called his grandma. That was dead. I had a situation like that. I don't remember all of it, but it's a completely different school. Possibly 3rd or 4th grade. Again, bad at learning. I just didn't get stuff. It was some lesson being taught. I assume I was disrupting the lesson. And because I was disrupting the lesson, the teacher called on me to answer it. Now, I'm not going to know the answer. I barely know what's going on. I don't know what I did. I don't know what continuously happened, but the teacher called my mom. I stood up. I had to stand up in the front of the class talking on the phone with my mom. She was cussing me out. I was in trouble, basically. I still don't know what exactly I did to get in trouble this particular time. Anyway, I got off the phone call and Class went right back to normal. Teacher still teaching. She asked a question. I raised my hand, and my response, my answer to the question was, "This is some ass shit." You hear me? That one word is very happy. This is some happy ass shit. She beeline. She like the teacher. She walked to that phone real fast. Called my mama back. My mama, she was like, "Oh, something. I'm about to come up there." She basically said like, "Oh, you about to embarrass me? I'm about to embarrass you." So she pull up to the classroom. I hear the knock on the door. Boom, 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 boom. Which I don't understand because I don't think our door was always locked. But it probably was. But I hear the boom, 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 boom. Go answer the door. My mama go to the classroom. She do one of these. She do one of those. I get up like, uh-oh. I'm like, oh, I'm going home. No. She kind of got me a little bit in the hallway, like, but it's like a boys' bathroom, like the next door over. So she hurried up and got me in the boys' bathroom. I didn't get no whooping because it wasn't. Nah, I got a whooping. She put the paws on me, and then as she put the paws on me, I had to go back in the classroom. I'm all like crying and stuff, snotty nose, and I could hear like all the snickers. I could hear all the laughing. I had to go to the front of the classroom, apologize. I don't even remember the apology, but I'm almost certain I didn't stay in school. I think I went home after that. I turned up. I probably turned up in a room, like biting the bed, punching the pillow, you know, screaming inside the pillow. Can't wait till I get old. That's something. We used to say hell of shit. Watch when I get older. Well, niggas old now. I remember when I first went to that school though. On the way to that school, that's how I figured out what time it was gonna be on. On the way to that school, we walking to schools, me and my brothers. We never knew we was broke. We never knew we was poor. We never knew like our clothes wasn't up to par, right? But we walking to school. Some other kids walking to school too. We don't know this though. They was in front of us, but they sat there and waited for us to like get to where they was, and then they started, like, I guess I always been somebody who I could read what's going on. So my other brother, this dude, he never could read what's going on. But yeah, so we see them and they talking, they asking us questions like, oh, what's your name? And all that type of stuff. What grade you in? All that. How old are you? And my brother talking to them, but I'm like, bro, why is he talking to these people? Like, I could see, I could feel everything is bad right now. Like, I could feel the situation, and this ain't a good situation. And it was like a kid that he was talking to was probably in his grade, his height, but all the other kids, them was some big ass kids. It was like, to us, they was grown ups, so they probably was like 5th grade or something. But to us, they was grown ups, and that was basically Yeah, I don't know why they didn't like us, but I knew they didn't like us. I could feel it. And this is the first time I ever heard something about flooding, like your pants being too high when you can't fit them. It was like, uh, your pants flooding, and we don't know what that means. I think my brother was like flooding, and then they all started laughing, and I'm like, okay, I'm picking it up. Like, it's almost like I want to pull my brother, like, yeah, nigga, these niggas ain't friendly. Like, this ain't no friendly situation. But they say something smart, and now my brother could pick up that what is being said is smart. So he replied something smart, and then they like I could see the aggression coming, like it's something about to happen. Uh, my brother, bad at sense of danger. He thinking these kids is playing. I'm like, all right, we about to have to fight. These some big ass kids. Um, I always had to go, and so I probably was gonna lose that fight. But if it ever got to the point of it being a fight, there was nothing I was gonna do to not do it. There's been so many kids I was scared to fight. I didn't want to fight. Some of them I actually did not fight, but I knew like if if a fight was to start, there's no way I'm about to just sit there and not get no hands in. So yeah, them kids they was turning up, but we made it to school safer than I expected. Um, but now I know, like, all right. So now when we walking to and from school, yeah, we got some things to worry about. Um, School is at previously. The reason why we stopped going to that school is because I got in a fight. I guess it wasn't really no fight. Somebody basically got on me. I remember it was like a group of brothers. At some point in time, one school shut down, so all those kids from that school came to this school. The difference is you're dealing with basically two different parts of towns. So you're dealing with north and you're dealing with west. Kids from the west, they all came together. I mean, they pretty much was like cool with each other, but they had to be cool with each other. But even if they wasn't, they was gonna need to be cool with each other, essentially. But yeah, kids ain't really kids like we think when you in the hood. So it was already that. Like funk was already a thing. So I don't know how these kids understood that they was supposed to be funking, but they was funking. There was a group of brothers. They was from the other side, I guess, and it was just always problems with them. One of the brothers was in my grade, and we didn't get along at all. His big brothers was getting into a fight with some other kids that was his age. And that kid, like I didn't had a couple altercations with him before, but I never could get him. He'd do something, boom, 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 and cut, run to the office or something. Or he'd run, then close the door, and you can't open the door from the outside, you gotta open it from the inside. So he was like, he got away a couple of times. I'm like, if I get this dude, I'm fucking him up. He got me again. So while his brother was fighting, I don't know who I was with, whoever I was guess, cool with. And I'm like, I think I whispered to them, I'm like, yeah, if his brother jump in, I'm jumping in. I don't know where my brother was or why he left, but he left. So I wasn't paying attention. His brother getting worked out. Like they whooping his brother ass. Like, his brother trying to run across the street and all that. They whooping his brother ass. And he seized this opportunity. You see, I wasn't looking, and I didn't even see the hit come. He just came, and all I know is like I hit, boom, and I hit the ground, and I immediately started crying. But I remember the noise. It was like, it was like a blackout. But I know my mouth was bleeding. I was like, why the hell is my mouth bleeding? Dude knocked my tooth out. I don't remember what tooth it was, but he knocked one of my back teeth out. So he got me pretty good. But even though I was crying, I was like, oh, nah, it's time to go. So I tried to get him. As soon as I tried to get him, it was this girl. Somehow we ended up knowing her. She ended up being like semi-related. Same thing with the other dudes I was just talking about when I walked to school. They end up knowing somebody who knows somebody that we know. It's like we end up semi-being related. But yeah, I remember when I tried to run and get him, the girl said, no! And she grabbed me. And this is when this girl is strong as hell. That's all I'm saying. This girl is strong as hell. So like I'm trying to get away out of her strength, and me trying to get out of her strength, it's like I'm fighting her too. And I'm like, yeah, I'm losing this fight. Like she ain't whooping me, but it's this damn near feel like I'm getting whooped on. Like how strong she was, how she was holding me. She's like, no. She's like, you bleeding. I'm just like, what? Then I found out I was bleeding. I spit, hella blood. And my brother finally come back. He like, what happened? Now he trying to fight. But by this time it was already too turned up. I remember this one teacher, she was hella mean. She came and she grabbed me, took me to the office, and yeah, we got, I don't really know if we got kicked out of that school or if my mom just transferred it out of that school. I mean, the school she took us to, little did she know, was no better. It's actually worse. And I mean, it just continued. Whatever trouble I was getting to, it was more and more. So I remember this, like I was saying, I really don't know how to be a human, so I learned from humans. So I remember there was this girl at the new school I'm talking about. It's like a little bit of time I've been at the school, probably like 3 days now. I've been looking at this girl. She was cute. I guess she had a nice voice. But the girl, she was kind of confusing. Like she was like nice, but she was turned up. And she seemed to like the turned up boys, right? So I remember there was some. I feel like there was a lot of suckers at that school, so it's it's recess, but I'm new to this school. I don't know nothing, so I'm pretty much just standing in like a particular spot. So when we gotta go back to class, I know how to get back to the line, and that's that. So I'm in this area. The bell ring. The bell ring. I start walking back to the line, and somebody throw a ball and hit me in the head, hella hard. That same ring happened at me, and I turn and I see the dude, and he laughing. I must have grabbed this nigga so fast, and when I'm trying to get on him, somebody come from behind him, boop, boop, boop. Somebody else come from another side, pop, pop. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening out here? But they getting on. They rocking a couple worlds. I ain't gonna lie. A couple worlds was being rocked. So it like stopped and they all stand there. I look at all of them. I'm like, who do I get? Yeah, they took off. And I already had to catch the first one to get him. Like, after he laughed, I made eye contact with him. He like tried to take off. I caught him, but he was doing like this running in a circle ass shit. So I would have caught him faster. But he was running in a circle. I guess I didn't really know how to run in a circle. But my speed was booming. So I got him. I got on him a little bit. They jumped me. I'll at the bruh cut, he not in my class. So, I mean, I don't know none of these kids. I ain't seen none of these kids before. But I'm walking back to the line. I'm mad. That girl I was talking about, she the first person in the line. So I'm walking in the line, and I'm like, all right, what do I do? And I remember I used to always see boys, they used to pull their shirt up or pull their pants up. That's what they used to do. So I walk in the front, like I'm getting in the line, but I pass her, and I like go to the wall, and I turn around, and I'm like, and she like, nigga, put your shirt down. When she G-checked my shit, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, bro, how you fucking with me too? Like, I was hella confused. The funny thing is, though, as I'm walking up, I'm like, what I'm gonna do? Like, what I'm about to do to impress her? Oh, shit. I think I pulled this shirt up. But she told her to go pull that motherfucking shirt down, Cuddy. I pulled it down. I pulled it down, and I was like lost. Like, what the fuck going on? Like, I don't understand it. But Lil Rob, he was one of the ones who jumped me. So that's why I was saying, like, I met him through violence. Lil Rob don't even know this. So I'm walking. I'm with my pops now. I'm with all my brothers. It's like I guess that weekend, and I see him walking through the west. I see him. I'm like, oh, that's that nigga that jumped me. I'm like, I'm about to get on him, but I'm like, damn, if I get down, I might get in trouble by my pops. I still was gonna get on him, but I think I mentioned it first, or I was like telling her, oh yeah, like we about to get on him. And then my dad was like, who, him? He was like, that's Lil Rob. I guess he knew him. So when we got to up there, I'm mugging. I'm like, yeah, let's get into it. I'm ready for it. My dad, he chopped it up with him. He chopping it up with the ops, basically. He's chopping game with him. And bruh knew my pop's name, so I'm like, oh, they know each other. That's kind of strange. And he like, yeah, this my son. And I don't know if he was he just looked scared. I don't know if he was like, oh, I'm gonna get in trouble because he know or what. I don't know what, but he just looked scared. But that ended up being like one of my closest partners. We got in a lot of trouble together. Like a cousin of me. We got in a lot of fights too. There was a lot more privy to the streets than I was, so they was already doing a lot of street things. And I guess I was very call and response, so some stuff just had to be responded to. So we got in a couple of fights. He ended up being in jail with my little brother. I always think about like, dang, me and my little brother was gonna be the one to jump him, cause that was he was the one who was walking right beside me. Like me and him we was like those. So whenever it was time to go, I mean, it probably was me and him who was gonna be the ones going. When I seen dude, like we was gonna box him up. He had a very unique fighting style too. This one thing I learned about the West. They all fought the same fight. It's like they squabbling up like this, and then they'll throw a kick at your legs, and then try to punch you. Like that's just what they did. I just need to get a hold of you. Like if I grab you, it's a wrap. So I guess I was a wrestler. They would be throwing hands and stuff. I'll throw some hands once I get you, but before I get you, I'm just trying to get you. I used to be cool with this one dude too. I really don't remember his name. It was a girl. Her name was Kaya. Oh, Nakai or something. But they was supposed to be cousins. So we was playing. I was chasing them. It seemed like we was playing. I was chasing them. Dude ran into the hall. I'm like, why is he running in the hallway? So I'm like, he must think I'm not playing with him. But this dude fell hella hard and hit his shit hella hard. I was just like, I don't know what to do with this. Like, I didn't necessarily do it. I did have a part in it, but I didn't necessarily do it. So I was like, oh, that's just like, I guess, an accident. That's how I took it. So, I mean, one of the ladies, they said something. So I ran. So I'm back out on the playground, and I see him. He come back out, but I guess he turned up now. And he do something, say something, and then he start running a little bit. I'm like, am I supposed to chase this dude? I thought about it a little bit. And then I chased him, and And as I chase him, I see him, he like square up very briefly, but it was like so fast, and he just boom, caught me. I'm like, what the? I was bleeding again. But I was like, bro, why you just hitting me? So then I tried to get him. They always get me before I could get people. So they got me. They got me. They held me. I was leaking again. I would always be like, dang. He had never put himself in a position to where I could get my get back. Like, I know he gonna always be around his teacher. Like, from that incident, he never gonna be like available no more. So I'm like, dang, I could never get him back. When I stopped fighting as much as when I went to middle school. But again, I'm very observant, so I see, yeah, these kids might be fighting at school, but they already in there. You hear what I'm talking about? They already with it. So, it ain't really just no fight no more out here. So that was turning up. Even in elementary, that was like that, but they didn't really have what they needed. So, like, for example, that same school I was just talking about, I remember I'm in the hallway, drinking water. They like 4th and 5th graders. They're in the hallway. I seen them before. I used to be not necessarily cool with one of them, but I knew them enough to where I wasn't like concerned. So I'm drinking the water. Somebody comes smack the shit out of my neck. Boom. And I get up. And I look. I see all of them. They all just staring. And I'm telling you, the eyes always tell you what's going on. So somebody's eyes, I locked on to him. And I immediately ran and got on him. And when I got on him, they jumped me. I don't know how this happened, but as I was getting jumped, this dude named James, he just died. He literally just died. I don't understand this shit, bro. But yeah, man, this dude named James. He saw it while it was going on, and he hurried up and ran to the class that my brother was in and got my brother. So they was getting on me for a little bit, and I guess by the time my brother got there, they stopped, and it was like a standstill. So they just got finished getting on me, and I was like standing there. They took off. I chased the shit out them boys. Ran into their classroom. I hate how they was running too, because it was like I couldn't get none of them. Shit just pissed me off. I couldn't get none of them. I think it's a couple of them to me, it was like they was some suckers and they knew they were some suckers. So I was like mad at that. I'm like, 101, you would never play with me in this way. You get with these dudes and just do this dumb stuff. So I was pissed off. Because his teacher, I ain't gonna say his name, but he pretty much, he tried to stop us from even getting into the classroom. We got in. He caught one of us, but he still needed to catch the other. Then when he went for the other one broke out. So we was chasing these dudes, and he finally somehow got both of us by the back of our necks, and he was squeezing it hella hard. And I remember like being like, almost like, damn, I can't move. So I'm like, fuck that. I started fighting him. Like, this nigga stupid. Like, I don't know. He probably was like, dang, bro, stop pinching my leg. Like, he probably didn't feel nothing. I was trying to fight him too. Like, you putting your hands on me like those. But I learned that pressure point though. That like one, maybe back of your neck, squeezing that. I learned that, so I know that one. That's one I learned from him doing it to me. That school just turned for real, for real. They had these dudes called the peacemakers. I don't think y'all hearing what I'm saying, but yeah, that was funking for real already. Like, they already had gangs. It's elementary, but they already got gangs, already got crews. They stealing bikes, BB guns, whatever. They already turned up. So, I mean, we needed regulation. They had these dudes called the peacemakers. They came to the school. By this time, I was turned up too. I wasn't turned up like them, but I was turned up too. I remember the peacemaker. That was just like faulty. I don't know. Like they try to, one of them, he'll spin it to you like, man, I'm from this. I'm from the hood, bro. I'm from this. Come to me. Like he was spinning it like that. I remember one time he snitched on us basically. I'm like, what part of the hood is that? Like what hood you was from? Well, they allowed that. Every hood I ever heard of, they be saying, don't do this. And then you done went ahead and did that on us. So I couldn't trust him. There's another one. He ain't never snitched. He kept it solid, but it's like he was just too, he was a correct person. So he'll tell you like, no, ain't no doing none of that. You hear me? He was hella tall too. He was a rapper as well, I found out. But it was cool, but then there was these other dudes, they used to always wear suits. And they always play like good cop, bad cop, like they act like they was brothers or something like that. They was always together. But I remember like, I don't know what this dude was trying to talk to me about, but I mean, I didn't pretty much already was getting into it with the adults at the school. Him, yeah, he wasn't like, all of them, I see them as a threat, but I don't see them as a threat that's gonna stop me from like defending myself. So, bro, he talking like, oh yeah, I already talked to your mom gave me permission to hit you. I'm like, boy, you stupid. My mom ain't never in her life gave you no permission to put your hands on me. Like, I know that by fact. So he tells me like, oh yeah, call your mom and ask her. I'm like, what? But he called her. But he called her and he like told on me before, so I didn't even ask her. But I already knew like she ain't say that. But this dude, supposed to get into the classroom. I don't know why he wanted to talk to me, but he was trying to stop me. He tried to pull me out the line. He tried to stop me from going. So I'm like, boom, broke him off. Boom, broke him off again. I'm shaking him. So now he getting mad. Because he down there just got embarrassed. I made him run into the door type shit. He got broke off. So he like grabbed me a little bit. And then it's like a classroom, like right next to the entrance that nobody be in. He took me in that classroom. And I remember he was trying to talk. I don't know what he was talking about, but I was like, all right, I'm trying to get out this classroom. And then once I got like a certain distance, he took his opportunity. And he like, I don't know what he did, but he like had me like these. And I was like, all right, he got me like that. My cousin, I don't know where she learned this from, but it's another pressure point behind your knee. I remember one time I was fighting her, and she just got in there and she just did it hard as hell. And I remember it was bleeding afterwards, so I did that to him. So he dropped his knee, and then when he dropped his knee, I was like these, and then he like got up, and then he put his knee in my back. He was like, he was like talking, trying to. He basically was like, I don't know what he was saying, but he was like talking like, yeah, 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 like, chopping it up. I'm like, all right, I want to catch you now. I'm not strong enough though. So it wasn't really much I could do. Even when I had him, I was like doing this. He felt it, I think, and that's why he dropped the knee. How he dropped it, because somehow he was losing leverage. I don't know what. The dude was hella strong, but he was just losing leverage. It was like I was almost getting ready to start lifting him up. And then he was like, nah, not really. He felt, I guess he felt one of his legs lift, and then he was like, nah, I gotta do something else. And he did it. I remember I was crying. That shit hurted a lot. What was happening at that school? There's a lot of shootings at that school, or not necessarily always shootings at that school, but shootings around that school. So we used to always have to get under the table. I remember one of the kids got shot. Some people say he was in a dice game. Some people saying he just got shot, like just being out there, basically. But this is what I'm saying about the kids. They look like adults. So he was like a 4th grader, 5th grader, but he already looked like he was junior high. He looked like he was 16, 17 or something. So I'm pretty sure whoever shot, whether it was intentional or not, they wasn't like, oh, don't get him, he a kid. They was like, you messing with them suckers, you gotta duck with them suckers. I really still don't know the whole altercation of what happened or why it happened, but I remember like the response that the school gave him. It was like good, but it was bad. It was bad because he basically getting a reward. He was getting rewarded for being shot, which he should have. But now that he got all the kids thinking, oh damn, I gotta get shot, because they ain't getting no love for real. But if he got hella love because he got shot, like he needed it. But I remember he was at the table. People was just giving him stuff. Like they was walking up, hey, you want my banana? Oh, that nigga living good. All you gotta do is get shot. But you telling me all you gotta do is almost die? Fuck it. Let's stop playing. But yeah, it's a lot of shit going on. I still don't understand why, but stuff just happened. There was a couple times where like there wasn't a reason why I fought. Like it wasn't, oh, somebody did something to me. I remember I was like in 2nd grade. It was like this 5th grader. He was like always, I don't know, he was always in something. But it was like people were scared to fight him. Like I don't understand. Like he was like basically punking people out with his mouth. And I think earlier he was like arguing with my brother or something. Then I seen him, and like I already wanted to fight him, but he said something. But whatever he said it. But again, he used to punking people out with his mouth. As soon as he said it, I just ran at him. Like he could see me, but he didn't really know how to react. I dipped him, I got on him, beat him up. And one of the big fifth graders, I don't even know if that was his partner or nothing, but he just came and jumped in and started getting on me. I was just like, bro, why is all these niggas jumping all the time? I don't really understand it. But I knew it was because he was new. So I guess it kind of made sense. I got in a lot of fights. I don't understand. There was one time this girl got on me again. So she was like new to the school. She was cute. Everybody had like a crush on her. But she was straight thugged out. And it's the same thing with that other girl. Like sometimes she'd be like soft and like nice voice, very girly, and then she just turned up. So I don't know what she was doing. She squared up. I'm like, what the hell? She trying to fight? Like, I don't understand. Like, what we doing? But she was hella tall. She squared up. I'm like, I guess I gotta square up now. Like, I don't really know what to do. And she swung. And like, she didn't get me, but I felt how strong she was. And I'm just like, bro, what is going on? Like, why is you... What's wrong, bro? Especially because, like, she was just, like, cooling. Like, what's your name? All this type of... And now she trying to fight. I'm like, bro, what the hell is going on? I don't get it, bro. Trying to fight a nigga, bro. Like, she got on me a little bit, too. And then because she was so tall, like, her punch could keep me out. Like, I couldn't punch her, but she'll be able to punch me. But that was just something that she did. Like, she literally just liked to try to fight the dudes, like, play fight with the dudes. And she was getting busy. She was getting more busy with them, but when me and her went at it, I don't even know what I did. But she was like, oh, okay. Oh. Like, she stopped. And I'm like, what the hell? You don't know how strong you is. you don't know what you just did. Like, her one punch she threw, one, it was unexpected. But two, like, she didn't get me. But how hard the punch was, I was like, damn. I don't really want to play no more. Like, you gonna whoop me up a little bit. She stopped going to that school. I remember so much stuff from that school. A lot of stuff we used to think was funny. Sometimes I think back and I'm like, dang, it's not even funny no more. Like, these kids, they was dating and stuff. I remember it was a group of 10 twins that went to the school, came to the school, they was dating these two boys, and then they broke up. And I remember the girl was like, I'm not gonna dress nice for you no more. And then everybody started laughing. And she had on like some overalls, something else, but everybody was just like, how's that dressing nice? Like, we didn't get it, but that could have been her best clothes. And she was like trying to impress dude. So to us, it was like hilarious. And me, I really had no room to talk. I always had the worst fit on. Even today, to this day, I probably got the worst drip on. Like, that's just what it be like. But I remember stuff like that. Let me stop this.